Hello, thank you for visiting my channel. On today's video, I'll be talking about different RV types and information for the beginners. Hello, welcome to my channel. On today's video, I'll be going over different type of RVs and terminologies that are used in the RV industry. Include Class A, Class B, Class C, toy hauler, fifth wheel, wet bath, dry bath, gray tank, black tank. I'll be explaining what all this means. Today, I'm at the Evergreen Fair RV show in this wonderful September autumn weather. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so this is working out great. There are basically two types of RVs. One with motors and one without. This one, for example, has an engine in the front. And basically, for one with the motors, they come in Class A, Class B, Class C. Here's an example of slide out on a Class A. And what it is basically it's on a rail and slides out and it expands the interior space by quite a bit. However, there's a little bit of a disadvantage. When you have a slide out, you're exposing yourself to possible it breaking down. If the slide out is broken, you're not able to drive it or tow it. So if it was me, I would get one without a slide out. Now, one huge advantage about slide out is that it expands the interior space so much. It's very unfortunate that anything mechanical could break, but it's unfortunate that that could be an issue, and apparently it does break down. Here's Class A. Typical Class A has huge windows in the front, and it generally looks like a school bus, so it's fairly easily identifiable. Some of them have an engine in the front and an engine in the back. Ones with the engine in the back are usually diesel engine, and they're usually referred to as diesel pushers. So the second type of RV, motorized RV, is called Class B. Here's a good example of Class B RV. Some of them have dry bath. I think most of them actually have wet bath. This one's a unique Class B camper or RV. Has a sleeping area in the top and looks like it has a more sleeping area inside. Let's go take a look inside. It's a little dinette. There's a more sleeping area in the back, or that could be used as a storage if you're going to sleep on the top of a roof. There's a sleeping area at the top. And it looks like this one has a wet bath. 좋은데요? This is Winnebago's Travato. I think this represents typical Class B RV. And can I take a look? So it has a small kitchen area, stove and sink, microwave and refrigerator. It has a bed, looks like two twin-size bed. And then there is a wet bath, meaning you would put a curtain around this area to take a shower and the curtain will get wet. So this is 2022 Winnebago Travato 59K and show price is $137,884. If my memory serves me correctly, this was $89,000 3 years ago. 3 or 2 years ago at the last RV show that I went to. So as you can imagine, price went up by $50,000 on this rig. Here is an example of Class C RV without a slide out. And the price is, whew, you know, this used to be a lot less. There has been steep increase in RV prices. Here's a huge storage space in the back. Let's step inside and take a look. Typical Class C has a bed area on top of the cab. And here is dinette. And there's stove and sink, it's a little bit small, microwave, and a refrigerator. And here's the, looks like full-size bed in the back. And my guess is that this would have dry bath, and it does. Look at that, dry bath. Now, my recommendation for anyone who's buying an RV is to actually go inside the shower area and see if you fit, because even just visually checking, it looks like anybody over 6'2" would have a hard time fitting in there. Well, I like this unit. It's built on 4 transit bases, and it's a Class C. And there's a dinette. Unfortunately, this one doesn't have a bed in the front. So the second subset of RVs I was mentioning earlier are non-motorized RVs. They are trailers, and basically trailers and truck campers. The truck campers are the ones that sit on the back of the truck. Now, within trailer subset, there's a fifth wheel, and there's a regular trailer, and there's a pop-up. And nowadays, many type of RVs come with the slide out, which makes the space much bigger. In the past, when there wasn't any slide out, space tends to be quite small on truck campers and smaller trailers, but that's not the case anymore. This is an A-liner. Basically folds flat for easier towing. As you go inside, here's the layout of the camper. Does not have bathroom. Sometimes they have porta potties, but basically it's dinette, kitchen, refrigerator, stove, sink, and bed. This is a trailer, regular trailer, and you know that this seems to have a little bit more clearance than some of the other trailers that we've seen. What this allows is that you can go somewhat, I wouldn't recommend going full off-roading, but you know, if you go to areas where you need some ground clearance, this would be a good candidate for you. And even it has a rock slider. I don't know how sturdy that is, but I probably wouldn't rely 100% on this rock slides, but it's good to have one. And it looks like it's there in the front and back. Looks like it's a nice awning, and the price is $37,000. Wow, pretty steep. I think this used to cost less than $30,000 in the past, but it is what it is. Here's a really cute dinette area. And looks like this unit is a slide out unit. Looks like that kitchen area slides out. One thing to consider when you buy an RV with the slide out is, can you use the RV without slide being pulled out? Meaning, when this unit slides in, can you use this bathroom door? That's something to think about. And this one looks like it has dry bath. Yes. Now, once again, the height of this shower stall is questionable. I mean, if you're over 6 feet, that's going to be pretty tight. And here's the bed configuration for this trailer. And one complaint among people who use this type of bed configuration is that whoever's sleeping inside has to climb over person here, sleeping here, possibly waking them up or just whatever. So Some people don't like this type of configuration. Now here is a place to check the level for black tank and gray tank. So here's an example of fifth wheel toy hauler with ATV inside. It makes it really easy to store and deploy and retract these ATVs. And once the ATVs are outside, you have a huge living area, like a deck, with awning even. Here's a fifth wheel toy hauler, multiple slides out, with 3 axles. Now, the more axles you have, more weight you can carry. And this one comes with 3 axles. And look at that stabilizer jack. That looks really sturdy. So this is a fifth wheel toy hauler. Here's the master bedroom. Separate entrance and the dry bath. And this is the living area. This is very spacious. Nice LED lights. High ceilings. Huge living area with the TV and electronic fireplace. There's a sink, stove, microwave. Here's a huge residential refrigerator. This one's probably bigger than my refrigerator at home. And as you enter into this garage area, this is the typical fifth wheeler. You have areas to store your ATV, motorcycles. And then there's a bed and a sofa that folds down, becomes a sofa, and then that part is a bed that slides down on this track. And then when you are not carrying it around, you can use this back deck. There's just areas to hang out with the lawn chair and whatnot. It looks like there's a little backup camera and nice awning. Easy access to the side with the steps. So here's an example of fifth wheel toy hauler set up for table and just as a living area. Obviously these all can be retracted and put away, and you can haul your ATV or motorcycles. You also note that on the top there's a bed that's on the track. It slides down and becomes a bed. So I'll summarize today's video explaining different type of RVs. Motorized versus non-motorized. Under the motorized category, there is a Class A, Class B, Class C. Under the non-motorized version category, there are trailers, regular trailers, fifth wheel trailers, pop-up, and truck campers. Unfortunately for today, we do not see any pop-up trailers or truck campers. Now, my understanding is that they're extremely low on inventory. So I will explain. Class A basically is the thing that looks like bus. Class B is built on a van chassis, and Class C is built on full-size van chassis like this one. And some of the terminology I use today is black tank. Black tank is where human waste goes into, and gray tank is where just regular dishwater, shower water goes into. And the size of the tanks are really important because that determines how long you can go without having to go and dump the tanks. Also, I explained the difference between the dry bath and a wet bath. And basically, wet bath is where you use curtain to keep the rest of the bathroom from getting wet. And dry bath is the bathroom that has a separate area for shower. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, please put in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer them. So when you buy an RV, you have to be thinking about a few things like, could water get in here? Because once the water gets in between these laminates and outside skin, wood start to rot, and that's the end of the RV. And so when you buy used, especially, you have to inspect those to be careful to make sure that there's no rot inside, because sometimes the rot is not easily identifiable. So always keep an eye out on the seals, make sure they're sealed, and I believe these take maintenance to make sure that these are sealed and they don't leak, especially the roofline area. And a lot of people don't go up on the roof, but yeah, especially where the vents and the air conditioned areas are. You got to keep an eye on those to make sure there's no leak, and make sure you seal them and on a regular basis so that there won't be any leaks. So here's an example of black tank in a gray tank area. The gray lever, pulling lever, basically releases the gray tank, and the one on the right releases the black tank. Now, as I explained earlier, the size of the tanks represent how many days you can go on without having to empty. Thank you for watching my video. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care.